Normal people release their games on, for example, Steam, but I just spent a month working on a 3D game which I released on YouTube. It sounds fake, but there is an actual way to turn videos into a full working game. This is The Neverhood, a 3D game from the 1990s, which has suspiciously good graphics compared to the other games from the same era. The reason is that the whole map is made of clay, the characters are animated by hand, and most of the game are just videos stitched together. My game will be similar. I'll just animate the player walking through every room of a building and then stitch those videos together in YouTube Studio using end screens. When the player approaches two paths and they have to choose, two videos appear, each one containing a footage of the player walking that path. The question is, how am I actually going to make an enjoyable game using this mechanics? I really like the concept of the game Please Don't Touch Anything. You click buttons, type codes and find clues to unlock 25 different endings. And I want to take a similar approach when making my game, and that is to drop the player into a house with the goal to find an exit. There will be multiple ways to escape, multiple endings which the player can explore. Also, I want to add some items which will help the player to escape the building. The problem is, the only way to store a variable is to create an extra set of videos which contain that information. So if I had to do originally 8 videos with one item, that would be 16, with 2 items that would be 24. But that's not all. I also need to assure that the player has maximum of one item at a time, because if the player had more, all the combinations of those items would require exponentially more videos to make, which I don't want to do. The reason I worry about making so much videos is that there are a lot of steps for making this game. First, I need to prepare the animations of the player moving through the building. Then I record all those animations, edit the videos, add audio effects, upload to YouTube, and then set up everything necessary in the YouTube Studio. For one video, it's okay, but for 100 videos, yeah, this will be painful. To reduce the possible combinations of items to only one, I decided to add a vending machine. That way the player can only buy one item before they run out of money. So now it was time to start making the actual map. I didn't want to make the map too big, because for every door between two rooms, I would need to make 2 videos of player walking in and out of the room. So for a building with 9 rooms, it would require 24 videos to make, which is too much. So I settled with a building with 4 rooms and a balcony, a bathroom, a living room, a kitchen and a bedroom where the player spawns. The bad news is I can do 3D modeling. However, I don't need to worry about performance, since I'll just record all the animations in Unity. So I'll make the furniture just by using a ton of cubes and cylinders, and pray that it will maybe turn out to be okay. So this is a toothbrush, that's a square sink, a shower, a sofa, cabinet with a cactus. This is the kitchen with some appliances, also a square sink, a microwave, a dining table with a chair, and that's the bedroom with obviously a bed and a vending machine in the corner. Now I need to think of some items which you can buy in the vending machine. Every vending machine has an energy drink, so I'm gonna add Red Bull. Red Duck. Red Bull gives you wings, but Red Duck gives you plain wings and with jet engines. Then I'm gonna add a suspicious food, a drink, a half-eaten popsicle and a screwdriver. But unfortunately you can buy only 2 of those, a screwdriver and the Red Duck. Now how will the vending machine actually work? First I want to make it simple. That meant you could only buy those 2 items. But then I got the idea to add a numpad, where you need to type the code of the item to actually receive it. The advantage is that I can add some secret codes, which can then lead to some secret endings. However, that is only the bright side of the idea. A 10-based numpad with 3 digits would mean 1110 videos to make, in order to cover all the possible combinations of those 3 numbers. That is too much, so instead of 10 buttons, I'm gonna add only 4. 0, 1, 2 and 3. That leaves me with only 84 videos to make, which is better but still will be painful. 84 is actually not that much, so you could theoretically just brute force every possible code and find all the secret endings. But I want to make it possible for you to discover all the secret code just by using clues I will hide in the game. Lastly, I'm gonna make a simple UI for the game. A text for your current money and 4 squares which will represent your inventory. Well, you can't actually use the last 3 squares, but just for the sake of fake freedom I'm gonna add them. So that's a total of 3 items which you can obtain in the game. A coin, a screwdriver and a red duck. Which means I'll need to make 4 variations of every video of the player walking. So that's 55 videos for the player animation, extra 84 videos for the vending machine codes, which sums up to 139 videos in total. Well, now comes the boring part, and that is animating everything. That means moving the camera, adding keyframes, disabling loop time, starting the recorder, turning on and off items 139 times before everything was done. Now comes the editing part. I need to make every video at least 20 seconds long. This is because YouTube for some reason doesn't allow to add end screens before 20 seconds of a video. YouTube, please change that. So I added a sign for the player when to skip those 20 seconds, so they could actually see the end cards. Also, I added some sound effects and then started to edit those 140 videos. Many hours of pure joy. Then I uploaded all the videos to YouTube and it was time to finally put the game together. I wanted to make some icons for the actions that the player can make. But I have no idea how to make any actual good looking art. So I'm gonna move to pixel art because less pixels means less mistakes I can make. After a few failed attempts, I decided to scout for a bit on the internet to find inspiration. And voila! It still looks like shit, but I don't have any ambitions to make it actually better, so I'll just stick with that. So this is an icon for movement between rooms, this one is for interacting with objects, and this one is for using items in the inventory. Then I made another 8 icons for the endings, which look absolutely beautiful. And finally, I had to go through every video, add a thumbnail, add end screens, and link them all together. Also, I decided to add links to the description, so if your end screens didn't work, you could still play the game. The game has a total of 8 endings, which I ranked from common to legendary. All the endings are possible to find naturally, just make sure not to skip any ending animation, because you could miss some important stuff. I've put a link in the description for the game, or you can just click this end card and it will redirect you. I hope you like this video and enjoy the game. Bye bye.